How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, so I'm gonna talk real close to the microphone right now because it's pretty late or pretty early in the morning. Actually, no, not that's not true. It's like midnight where I'm at. So I was gonna go take my beauty sleep or keep playing some Diablo 3, but I'm trying to rank. Anyways, if it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. You're listening to the Apocalyptic Aftermath channel, and yes, you've guessed it, my name is Lucifer. Yes, indeed, the king of hell himself. So, you know, um, interesting thing. I was gonna go take my beauty sleep. I was gonna go keep playing some some Diablo 3 or some shit like that, right? I've just started. I started watching Arcane, the League of Legend anime. It's not bad. I don't hate it. It's pretty cool. I think it's actually kind of cool. I just watched Terminator Zero. Fucking hate it. I don't know why. The script is good. I just the energy vibing off of it is just something's wrong. I don't know. The creators of that TV show had something not good in mind when they made it, which is very weird because there's nothing wrong with the show, bro. It's just the energy I get from it is like, ugh. Anyway, so I'm not really enjoying it that much. So anyway, but uh Arcane is kind of sketchy. Arcane kind of has a little bit of a negative vibe to it, but it's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty epic. It's actually kind of epic, Anyway, but uh, so I was gonna go take my beauty sleep, and I saw something come up my YouTube timeline, and it's Bill Carson. So Bill Carson rolls up in my timeline, and you guys that know my channel, you guys already know how I feel about Bill Carson. I don't really, I don't associate with people that listen to my channel and don't give me like zero credit for the things that I say. Like, they're gonna repeat things that I talk about on my channel, and they're gonna give me like zero, not even a hello, nothing. Like, you can say things to somebody without everybody knowing that you're talking to that person, right? Not even nothing. You know what I mean? So, like, it's like I don't even exist to these people. So I'm not a big Bill Carson fan. I'm not a big Bill Carson fan. I do think that Bill Carson is aware of my YouTube channel, because he's been, talking about Lucifer around the same time I've been talking about Lucifer, around the same time ish. He might have. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna give him his flower. I'm gonna give him his credit. I'm gonna give him where the credit is due. He has been talking about these things for a minute now. He has been talking about these things for a minute now, but he really started to sink his feet in when I started to talk about Lucifer, as the main protagonist of this anime TV show that we call reality or life, right? So, I'm not a big Bill Carson fan because Bill Carson does not acknowledge my existence. So why would I acknowledge somebody's existence that don't want to acknowledge my existence? That's bullshit. So I don't really acknowledge his existence. Mind you, and I don't believe in the things he says. I don't believe in Anunnaki. Okay, and I know that's something that might disappoint a lot of you guys, but Anunnaki is not a thing. Okay, it's fictitious. It comes out of nowhere. There's no. The funny thing is, I'm watching a video talking about how do you know if something is real or something is not real, right? And at the end of the day, if you look up everything about the Anunnaki and the whole Zoroastrian religion is a made up religion. It's a made up religion. It's not real. And Anunnaki comes from Zoroaster. Zoroastrianism, however you say it, it comes from Zoroastrianism, right? So, and Zoroastrianism is not a real religion. It's a made up religion based off of multiple other cultures that then they put it up together and they made a thing with it. But it's very recent. It's not old. Zoroastrianism is not an old religion. So, and Anunnaki, that's where it comes from. That's where the Anunnaki comes from. That's where Enlil comes from, and Enki and Enlil. Lucifer and Jesus. Some say it's Jesus, some say it's God, but I think Enlil is actually Jesus or something. Anyway, so Enki is Lucifer, and also God at the same time. So in Zoroastrianism, like, God is the devil, and Jesus is the savior of man in some shape or form. And where we talk about these things, I don't, if it's like there's people. I hate saying this because there's some people that watch my channel and that agree with the things that I say, but they don't agree with my magic practice, or I don't agree with their magic practice. And it's not that I'm dissing them. It's not a diss. You can do whatever you want. But me personally, because of my personal life experience, there's some spirits that I'd rather not work with. Like, I do care about the story. I do care about the tradition, right? So it is important to me, especially when you're somebody that you went through, like, let's say you believe in archetypes, right? So you're a Jesus archetype. You got crucified. If you believe in the Jesus archetype, or you believe in Christ consciousness, you have to understand that at some time and point you're going to get crucified, right? So, and you have not accessed Christ consciousness until you get crucified. It's only when you get crucified that you truly start to understand Christ consciousness, or else you have never accessed it, right? And even if you access it, it's temporary and in short bursts, right? In short spreads, right? Because when you're in it and you stay in it, eventually you're gonna get crucified. And when you get crucified, it's not fun, because you get people piling down on you. You got, like, your family starts hating you, your friends starts hating you, everybody hates you. You're getting crucified. That's what happened to Jesus. Everybody hated him. He was hated, well, by the Romans, maybe not his people, but the Romans hated him. It was hate, so, and he was hated, and he lived in hate. And that's another thing. If you're not living in hate, then you have not achieved Christ consciousness, because Christ lived in hate. He didn't live in love. He didn't live in lavishness. He didn't live in happiness. He lived in hate. The only thing that man knows, and the only thing that man has ever seen, was hate. Pure, unbridled, unrefined hate in all of its glorious glory. So a lot of people throw that word around, Christ consciousness, Christ consciousness, Christ consciousness. You don't know what you're saying. You have no idea what Christ consciousness is. Because Christ consciousness, if you really are living in that Christ state, then you're living in hate. That means everybody fucking hates you. That's what Christ consciousness is. So if life is a mirror, for you guys that still don't believe me, but that might be into metaphysics and spirituality, if life is a mirror and you're mirroring Jesus, then what are you mirroring? What is happening to you? You're not flying around in jets. You're not flying around in jets and fucking. You're not doing none of that shit. You're getting hated on a consistent basis. Now, I'm not gonna explain what that entails because I myself is a very hated person. You know, but like I've said before, there are paths I've followed. Like I said, man, I was a born again Christian. You know, like I said, I attained Christian spiritual levels. You know, I'm the you know, the thing about me, I'm like, you know, those videos with the testimonies, and the people are kind of like, I was in a cult. I was in the cult for, you know, a couple of years, you know, this amount of time, and this is what happened. This is the same thing, but in reverse. You know, because most of the people, when they go on TV, they have credentials. They kind of like, you know, oh yeah, I was a 35-degree witch, you know, this and that and this and that. I know all this, I know all that. They have the credentials. They know what they're saying. Like they did achieve certain levels. And you know that they achieved those levels because if they hadn't achieved the levels, they wouldn't be able to say the things that they're saying, right? That doesn't mean it's true though. Money is a very good motivator. Money is a very good motivator, man. Like, so anyway, but that's not what we're talking about here. So it's the adverse effect, it's the contrary effect here, man. I spent a lot of time as a Christian, you know, I believed in it wholeheartedly, with all of my heart and all of my strength, with blood, with all of my literally. I am not fucking joking when I'm saying this, bro. Literally with my blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, I believed like a motherfucker. Like, you know, like for fucking real, bro. Like, so blood, sweat, and tears, and that is not a joke. Like, you know, I have bled for Christianity, bro. I have worked for Christianity, bro. I have cried. I have sat in pain for Christianity, bro. So, you know, I gave it a good shot. I gave it a good chance, right? But what I'm trying to make, the point that I'm trying to make here is, I believe it's not that I'm trying to be like, oh, I'm the other side of the coin here. That's not what I'm trying to say. Actually, I'm just being a dick, you know. But but at some time and point, you have to realize that there's certain things that you don't know. Because like I said in my recent video, you can spend all your time in the light and hate the darkness, but if you're true to yourself, if you are real to yourself, if you're truthful and honest towards yourself, how can you hate something that you do not know? I don't know the darkness. I spent my whole entire life in the light. I have no idea what the darkness is. This whole time I was living this like Jesus. Like, gangsters shoot people in the fucking head all the time, but they believe in God. They're still in the light. There's a lot of, like, the light is a way more complicated context that people give it credit for. Like, it's not because you're doing a bad thing that you're in the dark. Absolutely not. Darkness is in your head. It's not around you. You could be doing an insanely bad thing, but it's like, you know, how many criminals or scammers that scam grandmas for like $45,000, which is the only money they had, you know, and then go to church on every Sunday like nothing happened. That shit happens all the time. That's humanity. You know, people fear God. People are God-fearing. God is the most respected entity of all time. Literally. So you're not in darkness. You don't know what's in the darkness. You don't know. You don't even understand what the word means. We've never been there. Not as a collective. Not as a collective. As a collective, we've been in the light. Even the people that drop off of the light, like me, they started out in the light. So you can't. So what I'm trying to say, it doesn't matter if I have Christ consciousness or somebody has Christ consciousness. What I'm trying to say is at some point, it doesn't matter what you think. At some point, I have to keep learning. I have to keep discovering things, right? And I have to keep experimenting. I can't just stay stagnant my whole entire life for 30 plus years. Let's just say. I'm not saying that's the case. But I'm just saying for 30 plus years, you have never budged 1 inch from your way of thinking. That's insanity. You're literally a psychopath. That's you're a psychopath. Like that's literally what being psychopathic is, bro. You're walking one straight line no matter what. That's psychopathic. You're unbalanced. If you want to attain true balance, if you want to achieve true balance, you must walk in both paths, which is a lot of people on my channel, a lot of the witches on my channel. Salute to all of you. A lot of the witches on my channel do walk both paths presently, right now. They don't just walk in the light, and they do not just walk in the darkness either. They're open to both ends. So let's get back to Bill Carson. It came to my attention that he had a debate with a Christian scholar and linguist a couple of days ago, and Bill got obliterated, completely dismantled. Actually, it was he got his ass hypothetically handed to him. Straight up. So